should be live now. Let me just check to confirm that. Not seeing it pop up. I don't know if that went through or not.
There. Yep, we're golden. We're good.
Okay. Cool deal. So I'm actually, I'll turn off the overlays in a second because this is going to be a little bit different. I was hoping it wasn't going to be raining for this because it's going to be quite difficult to hear us over road noise and rain, but we'll do our best. We got pretty much laptop screen that we're going to be looking at for the majority of today, or majority of this stream anyway. We are 2.5 hours from our target for potentially tornado chasing today, but if the latest models are correct and this storm kind of makes its way to South Texas, we will more than likely be going to cover this. So Garrett had the idea to start doing coverage on it now, so we're gonna give that a shot here.
I also want you guys to learn who we are and stuff like that. So, right. First of all, I'll find my satellite. There we go. Here we go.
Let me know in the chat how well you can hear, if you can hear when Garrett's talking. I'll maybe try and come up with a solution for that if you can't.
Okay. So, good morning, good afternoon, you guys. East Coast, West Coast. First, I just want to show you guys the beauty of this thing. It is a very destructive hurricane, but it is look at how nice that looks. Just from a satellite textbook meteorology perspective. This has looked quite nice for quite some time now. If I could go down in here, I would. There we go. Look at that thing barrel. It's barreling its way into the Caribbean. Beryl is barreling its way through. Or Beryl.
A lot of people have been saying Beryl. Apparently it is Beryl. So far, so good. All right. Let's say I could try and maybe pull audio from the laptop, but then all I think that's going to do is just like if he was like playing something on the laptop speakers, you would be able to hear that, but I don't think it's going to use the webcam microphone. So I just haven't really gotten the chance to get a better mic for this setup yet.
But anyway, you guys can see it's a very nice hurricane. One thing to note, now I'll be showing you guys this over on the infrared. You can see on the western side of this storm that it's starting to encounter that wind shear. The waters are very warm in here and prime, but when you get that upper level wind shear coming across these systems, it tears their thunderstorms apart from the top. It rips them apart. And you can kind of see that on the west side, kind of starting to see some decrease in intensity of thunderstorm activity on the western side of the eye. So we're looking at that. You can also see that the eye is starting to cloud up. It's not as clear as it was before. So it could be possibly trying to go through another eye roll replacement. But just from a satellite, you guys can see how very well ventilated this storm is, this hurricane. Very well ventilated. It looked at its best in this time frame. I'll pause it there. It looks like a classic buzzsaw turning its way through the waters of the Caribbean. But then you guys can see over time how it's just still looks like a beast. It's still very much a beast. The latest National Hurricane Center has this thing at I believe they still have it at a Cat 5, 160 mile-an-hour winds. They still have it at Cat 5, 160 mile-an-hour winds, moving west-northwest at 22 miles an hour. So that's one thing about the storm, and it's moving. It's not like moving at like 5 or 10. It's moving at 22. So they're starting to accelerate a little bit, and that makes sense given the wind shear and stuff like that in the Caribbean. Let's see. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, for those just tuning in, this is a little bit different of a style than like most briefings because we're on the road. If you happen to be joining the channel for the first time, we're full-time chasers, so we're just trying to do a briefing as we're driving to our target area. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be stuck in this rain pretty much for the entire drive, and there's really not a whole lot I can do about that. But yes, that is rain that you're hearing because we are in a car. I do have our camera in the top left portion of your screen. Since I turned off our normal overlays, you guys should be able to see us. So,
right, okay. I got chat open on the iPad here, you guys. So if you guys have questions, don't be afraid to ask, and let us know what you guys are wondering. Or what you guys also see in the storm. So just I want to keep the tabs on that as well. But yes, I agree. The wind shear is the storm is not as symmetric as it was. So that's also one side of its weakening. Going through a weakening phase. A little bit. But you can see that the latest National Hurricane Center track still has this thing barreling its way towards, coming real close to Jamaica now. This thing has started to turn more of a northerly track. I know all of you guys have been mentioning that as well. More of a northerly track in the guidance here in the last few days, especially the last 24 to 36 hours. It started to turn more north. And we'll get into that a little bit later on why it started trying to do that. There's a lot of factors in meteorology here that go into play on these type of systems, especially when you get a high pressure over the southeast, and then you get a trough in the Midwest. If you know, all these type of things play a role in wind flow, wind direction, and all that other stuff. But as you can see, the latest track again has it going towards Jamaica. By later or tomorrow, it'll be going either going over Jamaica or just south of Jamaica tomorrow afternoon, it appears. It'll be coming into Jamaica tomorrow morning, exiting tomorrow evening, and then on its way toward I believe these are the Cayman Islands. They got hurricane watches out right in here. They got hurricane watches up here. And then I believe that they're going to start to eventually issue hurricane watches for the Yucatan Peninsula here. The biggest question mark is, once it gets past Jamaica, is where is the system gonna, how far north will it be? You know, will it be like, will it follow the far southern end of this track? Will it go in the middle? Or will it go on the northern end of the spectrum? So that's key features that we'll be talking about here. Let's go ahead and just take a look at this thing on infrared. And I'll show you guys on satellite as well. You guys can see how it's starting to lose some sort of the asymmetric look that it had before. It's still got really intense thunderstorm activity around the center of the storm and around it. Those darker colors are colder cloud tops. Usually means more intense thunderstorm activity. The more intense thunderstorm activity you have around a system usually means the stronger the system is. Also starting to shrink a little bit, starting to shrink in here, so that's also a sign of possible eye wall of a replacement cycle trying to happen in the system. So, I do have spaghetti plots, Dan. I do have the spaghetti plots. As a matter of fact.
Also, if you guys haven't yet, if everyone could please smash the like button. The higher that like count goes, the more potential people that this update might be relevant for we could reach. So,
and the latest guidance as of this morning, the latest spaghetti plot models. These are a bunch of climate and historical models used for these type of systems. You can see now how they're very well clustered together, and when they're very well clustered together, it usually means that there's very strong agreement, or pretty good agreement on the models in terms of where the center of the storm will go. And you can see right now that a lot of them keep the system just scraping the southern coast of Jamaica, but there's a few that bring in the far southern Jamaica here. But regardless of that, Jamaica's in for a lot of impacts here, a lot of impacts. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of wind, a lot of storm surge. The whole enchilada, just about. And then you can see how they're still in pretty good agreement once they get over to the Cayman Island, towards the Yucatan Peninsula and the Cayman Islands down here. And then the big question mark, as everyone's been talking about, is what happens here? How far up the Yucatan does it go? Does it go further towards the Cancun? Does it go, is it going to remain further south? Because all this has a play in whether it goes into northwest Mexico or whether it tries to make a run into deep South Texas in the United States right now. And that's what everyone's interest is. Will this thing make its way towards South Texas? So we will be definitely keeping our eyes peeled to that. Can see, continuing looking at these spaghetti plots, you can see that the majority of them continue to try to bring it further north, a little bit further north. And that has to do with the fact that this trough that could come over the central United States could actually shove the high pressure over the southeast, nudge it a little bit further east. And when you get this type of trough, how troughs go, they start to pull systems north, and then not only that, but you get that anticyclonic flow around the high, and it brings that system, it gives that flow more from the backside, more northwesterly. The Sonora dust should not, it didn't look like it's going to be much of a factor in the Caribbean Sea. One of the major things that's really just hurting the system overall will be the wind shear. Now, yes, there is some Sonora dust, but it's not like the major factor on why this thing's going to be weakening. It's going to be the wind shear. The wind shear tears these things apart, easier than you think. But one thing that's very evident in the system is it's already a very strong storm. It's an extremely strong storm, and these things actually can be more resilient sometimes to a wind shear to some degree. So that is something to monitor as we get closer to the Yucatan. Is how much of a degree of weakness does the system undertake here on this? around the next 72 to 96 hours, which is rather interesting, because a lot of them got the intensity guidance. They underdid the intensity guidance that the system was going to do, or what it was going to be, at the point that it reached the Lesser Antilles. It underdid this. Do you guys remember a few days ago it had it as a Cat 3, making it a Cat, maybe making around a low end Cat 4. But there's one model that brought it up towards Cat 5, and that ended up being the correct model here. But Dr. Levi Kawan at Tropical Tidbits, this website is fantastic for hurricane analysis. Tracking this thing as it goes into the, if it makes a run in the United States, then yes, we would be chasing this. But other than that, if it goes into northwest Mexico, then that's not, we don't have a chance of that one, because I mean, one DL,
like, I don't even have a passport.
Doesn't have a passport.
I have no desire to go to Mexico, so I'm good on that one.
And stuff like that. We want to doing that. Yeah. There is a chance that the guidance could be a little bit off on the whole thing. I mean, it's been, like I mentioned before, it's been a little bit off on the intensity. I mean, models usually have a hard time struggling to depict rapid intensification on these type of storms. They just do. To me, to get rapid intensification, you need those really warm surface or sea surface temperatures. You know, at least 80, probably 80, I'd say 80 or so. And then you need those upper levels to be in a very favorable environment. When you get very low wind shear, and you have the very favorable ocean temperatures, that right there gives the system a window of opportunity to undergo rapid intensification. Yes, the latest GFS ensembles have this thing as a Cat 1 or so coming into southern Texas here. Looks like there's a pressure. See, it's about 74 knots. Tornadoes when they hit land. That's the upper right quadrant of the storm is usually the most. What we've learned in meteorology when we were going through school is the upper right quadrant of these storms are the more favorable for tornadoes and more prone to storm surge, because you're getting that more consistent onshore flow here with these systems. I wish what I could do is I wish I could draw this for you. But we still have to figure out a way for me to do that. I could do that on Radar Omega, but it's not as, you know, it's not as clear of day on what the wind speeds could look like here as on here. But this is a sign, though, folks. Like, we're not, you know, I'm not sitting here saying like this thing's gonna definitely make it into South Texas. Like, it definitely could make landfall there. But what the message is always to make to get prepared. You know, this is a sign to make sure that your hurricane plan is in place. You know, make sure you know your evacuation zones. If you live on the coast and you are in evacuation in a storm surge, you know, prone area. You know, I mean, this doesn't just go for Texas. This goes for the whole Gulf Coast. You know, this is just to make sure that you guys are prepared for something to be unexpected. You know, something to always come up in a hurry, change in a heartbeat. You know, it's always be best to be prepared than not to be prepared. You know what I mean? Trying to see chat, see if you guys have any questions on that. Huh? What's happening here?
Apparently he used to live here. He's going to go take a picture of his old house. So he's leaving for a bit, or for a minute.
Oh, okay. Yes, right now you see the latest GFS track on this storm has it coming very close to Texas on the 7th of July, so Sunday. It has this thing coming real close to the Texas coast. Right now, it's looking more so like if this thing, that's like a Brownsville to Corpus Christi type of thing here. I know, I say that a lot, Andrew. I usually say, you know. Can a hurricane make a tornado?
Yes.
Yes. They do. Tornadoes are in tropical systems, given the fact that you got enhanced low-level wind shear.
Oh, can they produce water spouts? Also, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I feel like that the tornado threat goes up more, or somewhat a little bit, with land interaction, because you got more of that friction. That friction interaction there. But that track, that was the where are you? I believe it was the HM and I right here. I believe it was this model right here. And this model, though, takes it down to tropical storm strength within the next 72 to 84 hours.
And that would be, okay, if it's 84 hours, that's 3.5 days. So that'd be like a day and a half, 2 days before I'd be projected to make landfall at either location. Although I guess the more it curves north, technically the longer distance it would have to go before it reaches land. So that could delay landfall a little bit.
Yeah, no problem, Brad. No problem, Brad. I mean, but the rain with the system is all going to depend on where it makes landfall. I mean, regardless of, you know, because I mean, if you were to play this, let's just take this model for example right here, okay? Let's just take this, the GFS model right here, just for example, right? Like, the system will eventually get carried north, but the moisture associated with the system gets pushed north with it. And then we just gotta watch to see if you know, if there's any troughs or anything coming in that can interact with that moisture to produce a very heavy rainfall event. But I mean, if you want to look at the, you know, if I go to sea level pressure and the precip, right? Like you guys can see it's right here. And then, you know, at least this model guides that doesn't take the system very far. It doesn't accelerate it north and eastward. It doesn't do that. So I mean, if you're talking about, you know, typical water, there are pieces of tropical moisture that will get accelerated into the United States and going mostly, you know, affecting portions of the eastern seaboard with time. But I mean, you see though with time, you see these little fronts, the cold fronts coming down from Canada, coming north, interacting with that. It's too unpredictable to figure out where, you know, all that's going to be, but just know that there will be tropical moisture somewhere, you know, being fed north with time. Okay? It very well could re-intensify again once it gets to the Gulf, which is what I believe a decent amount of the guidance has showed, given the continued favorable pattern there. But I mean, this is the tricky part right here, guys. Looking at the 500 millibar wind speeds, looking at the flow aloft, right? You guys can see that we do have that the latest GFS. Okay, this is just the latest. Let's continue to make sure I'm saying the latest. Doesn't mean that this is going to happen, but it continues to indicate a trough making its way into the central United States. And when you get, you know, you have a trough, it's going to shift the high pressure further east from the southeast. It'll shift it further east. And what this does is either this upper level trough can pull the system further north, you know, if that decides to do that. And that's kind of what this indicates here. It kind of decides to do that. There's even a few model guidances that are taking this thing a little bit further east, but is there any questions?
Brady said it's looking like about 10 hours from Jamaica.
10 hours from Jamaica. I mean, unless I do satellite, I can't even like scope out. Jamaica is this island right here. If you guys don't know, Jamaica is this island, and here's the storm. So I mean, I don't know, what would you call that? Like, it's gonna be about 22 miles an hour right now. So yeah, I'd say it's about 10 to 15 hours maybe from Jamaica right now.
Probably, yeah.
The latest National Hurricane Center track had it probably about 150 miles off the coast of Jamaica at about 8 a.m. tomorrow. tomorrow morning, somewhere in here. You know, and again, the latest track, we either have it shifting, you know, right now, there's a whole hurricane warning in effect for the whole entire country of Jamaica. And even though the whole cone includes Jamaica for where the eye wall could go, you know, right now most of the guidance takes it either clipping the southern part of Jamaica or just passing to the south of Jamaica right now. But again, regardless of that, the Jamaica will get a lot of impacts from the storm. Regardless, we'll get a lot of impacts. And it'll still very likely probably still be a major hurricane. Either a Cat 3, probably more likely a Cat 3 storm going towards Jamaica here. But I mean, do they have, I don't even know if Jamaica has, like, do they even have storm surge models or like storm surge guidance up yet?
I'm not sure, but if they did, it'd probably need to be soon, given how fast it's moving. They've only got half a day to, if that, I mean, before they start feeling surge impacts.
This is a model, this is at least for tropical storm force winds. Here, and you can see how the National Hurricane Center has the lines here. I believe these are, this is their time. Brady here. This is kind of for you to you know, to estimate it. This is the arrival of winds, and they predict by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, most likely arrival of these wind speeds will be just off the shore of Jamaica here. And the probability of at least reaching tropical storm force winds right now, this will go up towards the Yucatan. These probabilities will go up here. It's just, you know, right now it's all just a big old question mark with the system. Not only just relying on model guidance, but you also have to rely on or analyze what's actually happening with the system. Taking an eye or look at the aircraft recon here.
Hey Justin, welcome in. Also, what's up Tyler? I think I saw you in the chat. Yeah, what's up, man?
I mean, you can see that the latest pass from the national, or at least from the hurricane hunters, had this thing at 944. The pressure at about 944. So I believe from the latest from the update that they had this morning, what do they have the pressure at? They had it at 938, so the pressure has gone up since the latest updates, which means that the storm is weakening still slightly. It's still a very dangerous storm out here, but I bet now it's probably a Cat 4, a high-end Cat interesting to see what they do. Whoops, where'd it go? Right there. What they do with this here on the 2 p.m. updates, given that pressure has gone up. So. Northeast eye wall, okay. The latest drop zone. It's a fairly interesting sounding there. And again, you can kind of see where the hurricane hunters are right now on this. Looks like they're exploring the outer rain bands of this. Right where that plane is, obviously, is where the hurricane hunters are right now. It'd be a lot better if I could figure out a way to draw on this for you guys. I know you guys probably are confused a little bit of what's going on. Water horse. I'm thinking that the eye will actually pass just to the south of Jamaica. But again, regardless, Jamaica is still gonna get to feel very strong impacts from this, regardless of the eye wall makes official landfall in Jamaica or not. I hope that they're preparing for, you know, some catastrophic impacts. All these points is where they've flown in, and I believe that they dropped radio sondes. Are all in these little points all in here. That's where they dropped radio sondes. I mean, Sam, to me, like I said, it's hard to make a prediction on the rest of the hurricane season based off of this one hurricane. But what I will say is, it just tells you guys how favorable the waters are in the Caribbean. How favorable the water temperatures are down in the Caribbean. Any questions you guys have, or whatever it is, or whatever you guys want me to talk about, I can try to answer it for you the best I can. I missed Grifter's question earlier, but I know he mentioned something about a sound wave or some big old wave that got flushed out of the hurricane with the winds. You can see some new convection trying to do thunderstorms on the outer rain band right there. You can see them explode. enjoying this. I hope you guys are anyway. I mean, let me see, does Jamaica have like their own meteorology, like,
I'm not sure if they do. I didn't know if the U.S. outlooks covered their zone or not.
Meteorological Service of Jamaica, okay.
Sam asks if there's a storm behind Beryl.
Is there a storm behind there? The National Hurricane Center has lowered the chance of development on that second storm there. It's right here, disturbance. Right now, it had earlier in the week, I was talking to you guys who have been in the chat regularly. This disturbance right here had a 20% chance, or what was it? It was 20 and 70. It was up to a 70% chance of development in the next 7 days. That has since dropped to 30% in the last 7 days. Looks like that more of the Sonora dust and shear is going to be affecting this system to the point where it's having a less and less chance of developing with time. Kind of where you kind of see some of that dust over here in the satellite, but making its way across. But the more time that this thing takes to develop, the less favorable the conditions will be. Monster on Sunday. It's a beast. It's a beast. But I mean, yes, we will be out chasing this thing. If it makes landfall towards the Texas coastline, we will be out there looking at, providing live coverage for you guys. I mean, we're chasers, but I'm trying to supplement additional little content into the channel here and there about this. I mean, this time, as you guys have heard, it's the most southernmost, earliest Cat 5 on record. I believe it's beating out Hurricane Emily in July 2005 by 2 weeks. It's breaking a lot of records based off of the latitude, longitude, the intensity of how it's gone there. The islands that it hits. Fortunately, that island down there, I've seen some pictures of that. It is very, there's a lot of destruction down there, unfortunately. And our prayers go to those that are being impacted by the storm. Jamaica website trying to find out, and just having a hard time. Here you go. service Jamaica. I can't say sometimes. I don't know why. Hurricane warning remains in effect for Jamaica as Beryl expected to bring life-threatening winds, heavy rainfall, and storm surge to Jamaica on Wednesday. At 10 a.m., the eye of Beryl was located about 235 miles southeast of Isla, whatever. I can't say that. Well, you say it. You know if you can say it.
I don't know what else comes after that.
Beata, maybe? Beata? I'm trying to hurt these names. It's 555 miles east-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica here. It's moving west-northwest, 22 miles an hour, and it's forecast to continue moving rapidly west-northwest in the next couple of days, and eventually turn just westward by Thursday. Hurricane-force winds extend outward of 40 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend 125 miles from the center. Based on the current official track, the eye of Hurricane Beryl is expected to be south of Hispaniola on Tuesday afternoon and evening before it moves just southeast of Jamaica on Wednesday morning, and then follows a path over or along the coastline throughout the rest of the day. As the center of Beryl moves closer to the island, expect heavy rainfall to begin affecting the island early on Wednesday.
Fun, I'm chilling. I just woke up earlier than I'm used to, so that's why I look tired. But I mean, they just started, so I'm fine.
Their own models in here. I thought I saw something about the GF there. They got their own little models in here, and I would like to see that because it's in their climate. Right here, and you can see that eventually this will make its way across toward the island of Jamaica here, and eventually go northwest and eventually kick west. For their rainfall, if they can find, they unfortunately, Jamaica, they don't have like a storm surge model or a rainfall guidance model in that guy. Maybe they have. Okay, yeah, right here. Okay. So I mean, the latest model from the National Hurricane Center, they have parts of the eastern side of Jamaica possibly seeing over a foot of rain. That would have to do with the terrain features around Jamaica as well here. I mean, you guys can see even like parts of the Dominican Republic. I can't speak right now this morning. I don't know what's going on. You know, has over a foot of rain in spots, 8 inches. There is some terrain influence down here as well. And they do have lower confidence hatch in here, given the fact that the track and all that other stuff comes into play on that. Hurricane force winds, at least the models of them. So. Anyway, do you guys have any questions on this stuff? Anything? We will be live here chasing a severe setup today up in Iowa. We're on our way to Iowa here. Oh, that was close.
It was close, yeah.
That was real close. For an enhanced risk of severe weather across the Midwest states. Does have that system going into the Texas coastline. I have so many tabs open. It was Sunday. They have it going on, they may have making landfall on Sunday, but it's way too early to tell exactly where the system will hit.
If it hits Texas, Jared, we are not in Jamaica, no. We are in Iowa right now. In the scenario that this thing landfalls in Texas, this is the schedule over the next 6 days.
See right there, Nick? That's the latest track right there.
We would be chasing Iowa today. We're going to be live in 90 minutes for that chase. Might delay it a little bit, maybe like 2 hours from now we'll be live chasing a enhanced severe threat, including the threat for tornadoes here in Iowa today. Tomorrow back in Nebraska, kind of west, maybe central Nebraska, for another tornado threat. And Thursday looks to be a chase, probably somewhere back here again, where we're at now. Maybe something on Friday. Or we would just start traveling down to Texas. Saturday would be a travel day to finish getting in position for the storm, and then we would be live pretty much, depending on when exactly it makes landfall, and in the hypothetical that it does make landfall in Texas. I mean, that would determine when we go live, but it would probably be a very long stream on Sunday, because, I mean, the one other time we've intercepted a tropical storm, I think we were live for 16 hours, so we were live for pretty much the entirety of the system there. So be a busy week for sure.
Let's see, what does the latest EMCF do with this thing? See, the Euro keeps it out. The Euro keeps it south. Beryl going right into the Yucatan on the 5th, and then the Euro has a re-strengthening over the Gulf, and then it has it going in the southern or to northwestern Mexico right here. The upper wind pattern here, you guys can kind of tell that we do have this ridge right here, this ridge pattern right there. There's also a ridge somewhere down in the southeastern United States right here. That's going to be the key feature here between that and a troughing pattern coming into the central United States, to see if this gets pulled up or does the high pressure influence it to go further into northwestern Mexico there. Have to wait and see on that one. None of the models take the secondary system into much besides some sort of rain, a little bit more rain for the Lesser Antilles and the Caribbean down here.
It doesn't auto end streams, but after 12 hours it won't be DVR'd anymore. So I mean, like when we chased Hillary, the last 4 hours of that stream wasn't saved. So anybody that wasn't there watching live just didn't get to see that portion. So if we did that again, we may try to just like make a new event, but it all depends on how stream performance is doing. Like if the stream is doing like really, really well, I don't really have much incentive to end it and then try to make a new one. But that's all very much hypothetical. It's not guaranteed that we're going down there. I'd want some confidence that it's going to landfall in Texas, because to drive from kind of the area that we're working around this time of year all the way down to Texas on a vehicle that already has way too many miles on it, that's a big commitment. So we'll just have to see.
Tell you guys, only time will tell what this is what this will do. And again, a major factor for the system is going to be this trough that comes in right here into the northern plains. That and the ridge that's down over the southeastern United States here. It's going to be the big old player in determining what does Beryl want to do there. Does it get pulled up here, or does it get dragged further into Mexico? Tyler, I'll show you really quick. I'll show you guys real quick what this does, and I'll wrap it up here.
We're getting into heavier rain now, so Starlink may start to cut out. So we should be almost out of the precip, actually. I don't really have any cameras on
more so by the 2 o'clock time frame here in Iowa. You guys can see kind of southwest of Des Moines, looks like a favorite zone. And then these storms make their way into Des Moines. And look at the holistic tracks on these guys. Wow. Let the monitor see what goes on here with today's storm. Questions here before you think it's a good time to wrap up? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. If not, we just got a redirect set up so you guys will get redirected to our stream for later on today. Hopefully you guys are hopefully we'll see you guys all there later on today, okay?
Now, when you do get redirected over there, make sure you smash the like button on the live storm chasing stream that it'll pop you over to, as well as hit the notify me button if you'd like to be notified when we are live so you don't miss out on that. Did sleep a little bit last night, have not eaten yet. Probably not going to really get a chance to eat till after the chase.
Alright.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't need the picture on anymore. It's kind of pointless. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys found that useful, informative. That's not really the type of content that we do, so I mean we appreciate those of you that showed up and helped to make the stream perform as well as it could. We may do more of those in the future. My guess is if we do go down there, and this is a few days in advance, so I'll have more time to talk about this, but last time we were en route to cover a tropical system, we sort of did like a public road trip stream slash kind of like update, so to speak. So may do something like that, but if you're tuning in just specifically for the tropical update, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see live coverage of this storm in the event that it directly impacts Texas, because then we will be down there providing live coverage for the entirety of that event. And in the meantime, we'll be up here in the northern plains, kind of Midwest area as well, covering tornadic setups. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I'm going to redirect you guys over to the new stream now. And hopefully we'll see you guys here in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on when we fire up that stream.